I'm pleased to say that Leslie Vinjamuri, the director of U.S. and Americas program at Chatham House, is joining us today. Leslie, first and foremost, I would like to look at the re-election of Mike Johnson as the speaker. I just would like to understand, how are you reading the reversal in terms of voting, in terms of support for Mike Johnson? Any sort of conclusions that you can take there that guide us through what to expect from Congress next?
I think that we see a Republican Party that has a very slim majority, that clearly has a number of members of the party who want to see real limits on spending and that are willing to pull apart from their party and expect a lot in order to stay with them. So I think this is going to be a tough Congress for President Trump, not nearly as smooth as we initially thought it might be. That's a very slim majority. It's a divided party. And this ambition, which is to get through, this omnibus bill that includes everything from border security, energy policy, renewing the tax cuts. These are extraordinary measures to put all in one package, which is, different from what we had initially heard from Republicans about what they want. And yes, the party came together. Clearly, Donald Trump had endorsed Mike Johnson several days before last Friday's vote. And even that wasn't enough to initially get all the votes needed. There was some behind the scenes brokering and bargaining. And those people who switched their votes, just a few of them, but they are going to have expectations. They've signaled to their party and frankly to all Americans that they're not going to just simply roll and play ball on any part of that agenda. So this is a very high mountain to climb, even for a Republican Party that has majorities in the Senate, in the Congress, and in the White House.
Interesting. Well, I would also like to look at the fact that today marks 4 years now since we had the riots on Capitol Hill. What I would like to understand here is whether the president, is your working assumption that Donald Trump is actually going to pardon everyone that was involved with that?
I think that Donald Trump would very much like to execute on those pardons, to move forward, to reframe the historical narrative about January 6th. And he certainly may do this with the pardons. It's going to be very hard to bring all Americans along with his hoped for narrative of what happened, quite simply because first, we all watched it on our television screens. And secondly, because of the hearings that were conducted, that the commission by Liz Cheney, that will, the reports there, it's in the public record, in the public domain, and will be a very formative part of U.S. history. But yes, in the short term, there's going to be an effort to move forward. And to be very honest, as controversial as that is, what we do need in U.S. politics going forward, and it's a very tall mountain to climb, it's a high hope, but we do need people to work together and to reduce polarization and division and get Americans to a better place so that there can be some governability both at home and abroad. And people here in Europe, as we know, are deeply concerned with the future of U.S.
Leslie, what about